My name is Anina I'm Ferguson, and I was born June 17th, 2003. They got divorced in 5th grade. I wasn't really affected by it, but I started almost parenting my siblings because I subconsciously felt like our parents weren't doing it for them. That's also the origin of my anxiety. I started playing volleyball in 5th grade too. I started because of my sister mostly, but I stuck with it and then I still play today. I got my first camera in 6th grade, and it kind of changed things for me because before I was using an iPod. Obviously that's not as good, but it it made me get more into it. Obviously I now have a nicer camera, but yeah. I have general anxiety, which means I have a little bit of everything, but I started taking meds for it over the summer. I went on this thing called Zoloft, which is a weak antidepressant that slowly gets rid of your anxiety, but for it to work, I had to put myself in situations that gave me anxiety, which sucked. So my brain would be retrained to learn that those situations weren't dangerous. It took me a few months, but now I really never get anxiety. And if I do, it's in situations that actually make sense, like cliff jumping or tubing, not someone telling me that we need to talk. That was the most confusing thing I've ever said. Recently, the biggest thing was my mom getting remarried, which was awesome to see because I got to see both of my parents get married to someone that in a relationship that seemed like it would actually last. And it was almost like closing from the divorce. There's not much to remind you anymore of like the fact that your parents used to be together, but now one of them is alone and the other one has been happy for 4 years. I like to run and work out when my knees don't hurt, but yeah, it's pretty much the only two. I have, how many? 4. The youngest one, his name is Jake. I think he's about to turn 2 in February. The second youngest is Harlow, who's 7. And then there's Brett, who's 12. And then Hannah, who's 23. And Harlow annoys the crap out of me. I love Hannah. Brett is like my best friend, and Jake is my favorite person ever. I go to lead, but I'm in 9th grade. They like to tell us that we go to our home high schools. If you wanted to ask our principal, they'd say we go to Park Hill South, but it's stressful, but it's okay. I consider friends people who I can trust enough to tell them something. I don't have many people like that. Yes,